It's always a good day when we come together to share some positive news about the city of Houston, and this is very much positive. And today we have some great news to share. The Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy, the Houston Public Library, and the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation are joining to release the Houston Blueprint for Adult Literacy to be a catalyst for concerted action. The blueprint is needed because a systemic issue threatens our city's economy and challenges the prosperity of individuals and families now and for generations to come. And that's the issue of low literacy. While literacy and an education are fundamental rights of every Houstonian, this has not been a reality for many adults in the city of Houston, and that's unfortunate. As startling, 1 in 3 Houston adults is functionally illiterate, 1 in 3, lacking the literacy skills needed to engage in the workforce, support their families, or participate fully in our society. And this is simply unacceptable. If we want all, and I underscore all, Houstonians to be part of the opportunities we are creating every single day, then we must wipe out illiteracy in our city. To make a positive impact on our economy, communities, individuals, and families, we must improve access to literacy services. Our residents cannot thrive if they do not have the skills to access opportunities equitably. To address this systemic challenge of low literacy, I created in 2019, and it seems as though it was only yesterday, the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy. We call it MOA, which is the only office of its kind in the country. The office is managed by the Houston Public Library under the leadership of the best public library director in the nation, Dr. Rhea Brown Lawson. The Mayor's Office of Adult Literacy works to make possible my vision of 100% literacy by the year 2036. But the Mayor's Office of Adult Literacy and the library cannot accomplish this work alone. Leveling the playing field for all people in the city requires a comprehensive and concerted approach, pooling our resources in public and private partnerships to address the critical needs for literacy. And that's why in January 2021, in this very room, I announced a partnership between the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy, the Houston Public Library, and the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, with expertise from Deloitte and financial support from EOG Resources, Inc., the Greater Houston Community Foundation, and Phillips 66, to put together a Houston blueprint for adult literacy to be a catalyst for concerted action. And I believe we have representative of each one here today. How fitting that Houston would adopt this blueprint on the day we celebrate what would have been Miss Barbara Bush's 96th birthday. And look, I think that's good news. The former First Lady was a champion for reading and literacy who devoted her life to promoting the cause of family literacy in her hometown and across the country. So this blueprint is Houston's birthday present to Barbara Bush. Using the Houston Adult Literacy Blueprint to plan for actions, we can make a difference in the life of all Houstonians in each community of our city. This is a call for action. We need everybody to get involved because low literacy affects everyone. It affects our families, our workplace, our community. And improving the functional literacy skills of all Houstonians is not only the right thing to do for this city, but it's also a very personal act for me. It is very difficult for children to learn if mom and dad cannot assist them. My parents could not assist me, but they found a way through literacy, through books, through helping us attain our education. And literacy is not just about educating the young, but it's also about building a better and positive future. We must also address the literacy amongst adults so that the cycle of illiteracy can be broken. And let me tell you, it makes a difference. Over the last couple of weeks, I've announced how we are opening up TXRA for the focus on innovative technology and manufacturing. We're looking at the ION, same, new opportunities. Yesterday, it was at the spaceport, talking about new opportunities that are coming to this city. But if we do not tackle and eliminate illiteracy, there will be many people who will be locked out of these opportunities that are springing up in our city each and every day. And so I want to thank our partners, those present today, but also, and just as importantly, the dozens of organizations and more than 100 people who took the time to participate in focus groups and work groups, interviews, or who responded to our surveys to give us input, feedback, share their vision, and help us craft a document that really reflects the voices of Houston's diverse community. Finally, because of the important role in the Houston Public Library has played in the development of this blueprint, I would like to invite Dr. Lawson to share a perspective with us, but fully understand in this city, we leave no one behind, not one single person in any given family. We leave no one behind. Dr. Lawson.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. I'm excited to join the Mayor, the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy, and our partners at the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation to launch the Blueprint for Adult Literacy. It's a magnificent achievement in our city's fight against illiteracy and a model for the country. Mayor, thank you for your vision to prioritize the eradication of adult illiteracy in our city. I am very honored that you have entrusted the Houston Public Library with the oversight of the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy to support the city's efforts in this fight against illiteracy. You lead the nation in that regard. Like public libraries across the nation have done for generations, the Houston Public Library is proud to stand steadfast in the fight against illiteracy. The challenge of adult literacy warrants a coordinated response to fully address the systemic nature of the problem. Illiteracy limits the ability of parents to help their children learn to read. It limits the availability to build a highly skilled workforce, as the Mayor described, and it hampers our ability to fully respond in times of crisis. What makes the problem even more compelling is the ethnic and racial disparities of illiteracy. Studies consistently reveal that Black and Hispanic adults are 3 times more likely to have low literacy skills. This reality makes our call to action even more urgent. If we are serious about the diversity of Houston, we must be serious about the inclusion of all Houstonians in the economic opportunities our city offers. If we are committed to the families of Houston, we must be ready to afford all families equitable access to quality education. The future health and wealth of our city depends on our determined and collective efforts to build a more literate community and city. As the Mayor noted, the library, the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy, the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation cannot do this work alone. We are very grateful for the partners who have stepped up to help develop the blueprint. However, to fully realize the change that is needed in our city, to really move the needle, we need to continue to build a strong coalition of partners on the ground level to help implement the blueprint for adult literacy. To do that, we also need leadership, dynamic leadership to make it happen. And I'm so grateful that this kind of leadership exists in the director of the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy and his outstanding team. I would now like to invite MOL's director, Federico Salas-Isnati, to the podium to provide you with details about our plan of action and those who have played an integral role in making the plan possible. Mr. Director.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lawson, for your leadership, and thank you, Mayor, for your vision. I'm honored to work with the City of Houston and the Houston Public Library to address the silent systemic crisis of low literacy among our adults. And good morning to all. What an exciting day it is for Houston. At least I am excited. I am Federico Salas Isnardi, the Director of the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy, and I want to start my remarks with a very, very special thanks to my friend, Julie Baker Fink, and to the board of the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation under the board leadership of its founders, Neil and Maria Bush, for their support of this effort. This blueprint builds on the great work done by the foundation after the adoption of the first blueprint in 2014. We used it as a jumping board to build this new one. Soon after MALL was created, Mayor Turner in 2019, I invited Dr. Baker Fink to talk all things literacy. We knew we wanted to work together toward a common vision because we both understand that in order to make a difference, we need to address adult literacy with as much urgency as we normally give children and family literacy. These conversations back then were about the future. And then came 2020. And with 2020, the future came rolling in. First, the pandemic forced many literacy providers to close their doors because they didn't have the resources for a quick transition to distance learning. In Houston, however, we had programs who were ready for the challenge of moving instruction to the digital space. These programs had won in 2019 the X Prize Award made possible by the National Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation and a competition for educational technology. Some of these programs are here today: the Community Family Centers, East Side University, and Memorial Assistance Ministries. Fortunately, thanks to these leaders, Houston is already well on the way to providing quality digital literacy education. Then in April 2020, the National Center for Educational Statistics released county by county, state by state, county by county data from a study that indicated that 32% of adults in Harris County is functioning at the lowest level of literacy. We have known that we had a challenge in our hands. The data from this study made it clear. Houston, we have a literacy problem. I said earlier that the problem is systemic. We recognize that low literacy affects every aspect of our community life, from the education of our children, the readiness of the workforce, the health of the community. But another aspect of this systemic crisis is that research, as Dr. Lawson indicated, has shown that Black and Hispanic communities have a very large percentage of their adults working at the lowest level of literacy. This made clear to the foundation and to the Houston Public Library and to the mayor that we needed to act quickly. The Houston Blueprint for Adult Literacy is a call for action to engage all of Houston in solving this crisis. We have identified 7 goals, you can see them on the screen, that focused on advocacy, systems and data, family literacy, workforce literacy, digital literacy. And I invite you, each one of you, to visit our websites and to become more informed about the problem and its impact on the city of Houston. We need everybody's help to make these goals a reality. We are committed to convening all stakeholders in our city to craft together a vision for the future that must include the goal of 100% literacy for the citizens of Houston. Literacy is the heartbeat of Houston, and the blueprint is our visionary call to action. This blueprint can become a model for literacy partnerships around the nation, and if you want, I can tell you more about that. I receive calls all the time from around the country. So this can be a model for the nation, and we can show the nation that Houston can do more than write outstanding documents. We can make systemic change in the life of all Houstonians. I want to thank Deloitte Consulting for their outstanding professionalism managing the development of this document. Also, heartfelt thanks to everybody who participated in the development of this document. We hope your voices are fairly represented in our document. To finish, please let me recognize my staff, Jackie Aguilera, project manager for the mall, and Marlena Lopez, our administrative assistant, without whose hard work and commitment we would not be here today. Also, please let me thank Nicole Robinson of the Houston Public Library for her leadership and her support all along. Thank you very much. I would like to invite you now to watch a brief video from the Foundation's celebration of reading with the perspective of 2 adult learners and a provider.
Here at the Adult Education Center, they've changed my life, and that's what I'm here to do as well, to change others' lives. I'm a role model, of course, to my children. So my goal was to prove that no matter what age you are, you can still go back and, pursue your dreams.
We're extremely grateful for the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation. One of our favorite initiatives that they funded was our Literacy for Mothers, where it was helping mothers actually persist through education while they balance work and life.
I am mom of 3 sons and 1 girl. Before I'm learning English, I needed help with my husband. He had to go with me to the banks or to the store, and now I'm proud of me because I can do it by myself.
It's so hard just to make that phone call, just to walk in that door and say, I need help, whether it be for literacy, obtaining your GED, learning English.
For me, the blueprint gives a lot of folk, little boys and girls similar to me, who have grandparents or mothers who have no literacy skills or very low literacy skills, the opportunity to break the cycle.
And now I would like to invite to the podium Dr. Julie Baker-Fink, my friend.
Thank you, Federico, and good morning, everyone. I appreciate your kind words, and it has been a true pleasure to work with you and Nicole and Dr. Lawson and Jackie and the Deloitte team in helping to make the development of the blueprint a reality. And Mayor Turner, on behalf of Neil and Maria Bush and our board of directors, thank you for your steadfast leadership, your visionary leadership, and your commitment to adults and families here in our community. We really appreciate your commitment and support as we realize our quest and vision for literacy for all in our city. I also wish to thank Phillips 66, EOG Resources, and Greater Houston Community Foundation for joining us in investing in the development of Houston's adult literacy blueprint. Today is a special day of remembrance of our beloved Barbara Bush on her 96th birthday, and a special day for Houston. Mrs. Bush championed the cause of literacy for much of her life, and especially advocated for adult and family literacy programs as vital to breaking the generational cycle of illiteracy and poverty. Furthermore, she believed literacy is a fundamental human right, and that if we don't give everyone the ability to simply read and write, then we aren't giving them an equal chance to succeed and live the American dream. Her passion, generosity, and visionary leadership continue to inspire the work of the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation. Mrs. Bush is surely looking down upon us today, delighted that we've come together to unveil Houston's adult literacy blueprint, a culminating effort involving more than 100 cross-sector leaders over the past 5 months The blueprint is a deep analysis of data and research on adult literacy and a comprehensive plan for ensuring that more adults across our city receive a second chance in life through the development of strong foundational and digital literacy skills, as well as essential workforce skills needed to thrive in our global economy and society. As Mayor Turner and Dr. Lawson mentioned previously, 1 in 3 adults in Harris County is functionally illiterate, meaning they lack requisite reading, writing, computational, critical thinking, and oral communication skills to function on the job, the family, and across society. It is indisputable. Literacy levels are inextricably linked to nearly every community metric, including income, crime and recidivism, health, education attainment, civic engagement, generational poverty, and economic vitality. With respect to income, according to an analysis conducted by Gallup as part of the blueprint design, Houston adults functioning at the lowest literacy level would garner an average increase of $13,000 in annual income if their literacy skills were boosted by just 1 level. Furthermore, Houston's gross domestic product would boost by $13 billion, that's with a B, $13 billion annually by supporting adults who are at the lowest level of literacy competency to gain just 1 skill level. And while the economic impact of increasing adult literacy rates is significant, we must also acknowledge the struggles of everyday life and the socio-emotional impact on low literate adults. There's a negative stigma, shame, and insecurity associated with being functionally illiterate. In fact, 60% of low literate adults feel they have no influence in our democratic process. We must ensure all adults are afforded equity of opportunity to gain the dignity, confidence, and competence to engage fully in our society and economy. Thankfully, we have a solution. Houston's Adult Literacy Blueprint is a comprehensive approach to addressing our systemic adult literacy crisis. Our plan contains 7 overarching goals with a roadmap entailing evidence-based strategies and practical actions aimed at boosting basic literacy skills and competencies along 3 key literacy domains: digital, financial, and health. Furthermore, it outlines metrics for monitoring our progress and informing future decisions. We invite the Houston community to visit a special website at houstonadultliteracy.org, houstonadultliteracy.org, to download Houston's Adult Literacy Blueprint and learn about our city's pervasive adult literacy challenge, its impact on our community, economy, and society, and our plan for how we may all come together to assure for a vibrant future for our city and everyone who calls Houston home. We must act swiftly and purposefully to support increased literacy skills for Houston adults who deserve every chance to reach their fullest potential. We have an economic and moral imperative to act. And Mayor Turner, to jumpstart the implementation of Houston's adult literacy, because the boots now hit the ground, as we say in Texas, we are pleased to announce that we are making 2 important community investments today. First, the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation and our partners at Phillips 66 and PNC Foundation will be expanding the number of Family Place libraries this year, bringing the total number of Family Place libraries in Harris County from 10 to 18. Secondly, we are pleased to partner with Marathon Oil to provide 200 laptops and funds for software to create computer labs at 10 community-based adult literacy providers. These 2 initiatives will provide more adults and families with access to books, tools, courses, and mentoring they need to develop strong basic and digital literacy skills, complete their GEDs, learn English, and gain workforce readiness skills. Collectively, with our partners, $1 million will have been committed to the development of the blueprint and initial programs across our community aimed at boosting adult literacy rates. We are hopeful that more corporations, philanthropic organizations, and individuals will step up to advance the blueprint through advocacy and commitment of volunteer, financial, technology, and other resources. Together, we can change lives and make Houston a model city in breaking the generational cycle of low literacy and poverty. Thank you, Mayor Turner, for shining the light on our pervasive problem that has impeded the progress of our economy and constrained the futures of adults and families in our city. More importantly, thank you for taking action. Now the real work begins. Will you join us? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Finch, Julie, and thank you, Federico, Salas Esnadi, and then certainly to Dr. Lawson, and then to all of those who have participated in sponsoring, supporting, providing consulting advice over the last 5 months. What a beautiful gift to give to Barbara Bush, but it also says that her legacy is strong, and we're building on that legacy.